After what seemed like forever, I finally got my hands on one of these deluxe Mandalorian sets that include the child and a bunch of other accessories. This is the Mandalorian where he's got his Beskar armor now. Of course, the show Mandalorian was awesome and everyone loves it. I had the earlier version, didn't have this version, and now I do, and I'm super excited. It's pretty cool. It has its issues, but let's go over it first. So as a deluxe figure, it's more expensive. It's like $30 instead of $20 or something like that. He's got a bunch of accessories. And some I left in the box, so you can see that he comes with 5 pieces of Beskar, right, steel. He's got the tracking device for the child there, and he's got the child in the pram. So I'll show you this part first while we're here. Okay, so this is the tiny little child, right? And there's been other child toys, and they're all small. So even for even the vintage style childs are about the same size. This one is not articulated. It's a solid piece of child. Oh, no, head moves a little bit. All right, so there's a head movement. But that's it. There's no peg holes or anything like that. Here's the pram. It's nicely detailed, and it has a cover that you can, cover the child up, but it doesn't store in any kind of other mode. You can't just leave it open or anything. So if you want to display the child in it, this has to go somewhere. I will also say that there's no it doesn't sit flatly. It's kind of there you go. Oh, it's not great, but it's fine. There's a little stand, which we like the stand. The figure itself is pretty cool. Again, a couple issues. It has the backpack, but the backpack has no paint. It's just a flat piece of toy. And I know that it's just silver in the show, but it feels like there should be some weathering. I mean, it's definitely a different silver than the rest of it. There's this cape, and the helmet is removable. So there's a problem with this helmet, and so first of all, I don't know if you can see it, and you probably this is probably old news, but a little bump in the middle there, that's actually the nose of Pedro Pascal's face, which is underneath the helmet. And it doesn't look great. This isn't a great sculpt. It's fine. No one's gonna be displaying them like this anyways, but it's just lacking any kind of expression. And with the helmet off, you can take the cape off if you wanted to and kind of get a better look at what's going on here. And there's actually some really good articulation in that there's the neck's on a ball, right? But then the head's on a ball on the neck. So that's different. There's also, if you look in the shoulders here, you have that movable inner shoulder joint that allows you to kind of go forward and backwards. It's a little stiff on this one, but it does work. And the shoulder armor gets out of the way a little bit. You have single jointed elbows that do that, and they rotate. And then you have hands that have a little hinge joint that this one goes up and down. Okay, but it also rotates. You do have a ball joint in the chest, and you've got this flexible rubber bandolier, I'm gonna guess, okay? Which is attached to the belt, which is also a flexible rubber and has the holster. Typical kind of Black Series hip joints, upper thigh swivel, double knee joint. So it's still got those double knee joints. And then your typical pivot and swivel hinge kind of ankle. So all good, all solid. I'm happy with that. I'm not a huge fan of the face, and I don't like the fact that it's slowly making a little dent in Mando's helmet. Okay, put this cape back on. He looks good with the cape. All right, so there's a few things to note. One is there's these pegs all over the figure, not all over the figure, all over the back, right? And they're initially you see these pegs here, they clip in. But if you have the rifle, you can use this peg on the rifle to store it on the back. And worth noting, you cannot store both the jetpack and the rifle at the same time. So keep that in mind. Whichever one you want to have, that's the one you will have. But I like that they give you a hole in the bandolier to clip through. The gun here, Hasbro has it's a little problem, but it's not a big problem, is that they make these cool holsters with the little straps and the little plugs, but it's really hard to get the plug back in when the gun's in there. So for example, gun comes out, it's a nice little gun, Mendo can hold it, but then you put the gun back in and you try to get that plug back in, and it's just not gonna go. So the way around this is basically you put it in without the gun in, right? Which is still a challenge. There you go, it's in now. And then you just kind of shimmy the gun in around like that, and then it's in. So that's a pro tip for you. So I think this is a decent value for the price. It's a nice figure. Here's the thing though, is these are all gonna go up in price. Shipping costs, material costs, everything is gonna cause a huge spike in increases. So these deluxes that used to be, 30 will probably be 40, right? And regular figures that were 20 will now be 25. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen this year, end of 2021 into 2022. We're gonna see that increase. I almost guarantee it. I'm not George Zimmerman, but I can pretty much tell you that is what's going to happen. But it is a cool figure, and I'm glad I got it. And I wish these weren't so hard to find in 2021. You cannot, you have to pre-order everything these days. Your chances of finding anything but a Grief Karga on the shelves is 0 to none. This, I found him at NSTARK Target, of all places, online, so I grabbed him there, and it shipped fine, no problem, it was quick. Worth getting. It's really great. So if you have the opportunity to get it at non-scalper prices, feel free. I'm sure it won't be the last Mando toy that they make, but it is pretty damn sweet. That's about it. It's Josh from CollectionDX.com. See you next time. Join our Patreon, subscribe to our channel, upvote this, leave a comment. You know the drill.